The United States government is responsible for managing trillions of dollars. This vast sum is collected from hard-working American taxpayers who trust that their contributions will be used wisely and effectively. The government is tasked with the monumental responsibility of ensuring that these funds are allocated to various sectors that are crucial for the nation's well-being. This money belongs to taxpayers. It is their hard-earned income that fuels the engine of the government. Every dollar collected is a testament to the trust that citizens place in their leaders and institutions. They expect that their contributions will be used to build a better, safer, and more prosperous society. It is intended to fund essential services and programs for the benefit of all Americans. These services include public safety, education, healthcare, and infrastructure. The proper management of these funds ensures that communities thrive, children receive quality education, and public health systems remain robust and responsive. However, a deeply concerning issue plagues this system: government fraud and waste. These problems are not just minor inconveniences, they represent significant threats to the integrity and efficiency of public services. When funds are misused or siphoned off through fraudulent activities, the very foundation of public trust is shaken. These issues drain precious resources and erode public trust. They demand our attention. The consequences of government fraud and waste are far-reaching, affecting everything from the quality of public infrastructure to the availability of essential services. Citizens are left to deal with the fallout, facing deteriorating roads, underfunded schools, and inadequate healthcare facilities. This essay will delve into the alarming reality of government fraud and waste. We will examine the various forms these issues take, from embezzlement and bribery to mismanagement and inefficiency. By understanding the scope and impact of these problems, we can begin to formulate solutions and demand greater accountability from our leaders. We will explore how gaps in computer systems, inadequate oversight, and other vulnerabilities create opportunities for these abuses. The digital age has brought new challenges, with cyber threats and data breaches becoming increasingly common. These vulnerabilities can be exploited by those looking to defraud the government, making it imperative to strengthen our defenses. Through specific examples, we will expose the shocking truth about how taxpayer money is being mismanaged and outright stolen. By shedding light on these issues, we hope to inspire action and reform, ensuring that public funds are used for their intended purposes and that the trust of the American people is restored. One of the most alarming aspects of government fraud is how easily it can occur due to systemic weaknesses. These weaknesses are often deeply embedded within the very structure of government operations, making them difficult to identify and even harder to rectify. The complexity and size of government agencies create an environment where oversight can be inconsistent and accountability can be elusive. A prime example is the lack of communication between different government computer systems. These systems are often outdated and incompatible with one another, leading to significant gaps in data sharing and security. This fragmentation not only hampers efficiency, but also opens the door for fraudulent activities to go undetected for extended periods. This creates a breeding ground for fraudsters to exploit. Cyber criminals can easily manipulate these vulnerabilities to siphon off funds, alter records, and cover their tracks. The lack of robust cybersecurity measures further exacerbates the problem, making it a haven for those with malicious intent. A shocking example revealed that over $300 million in Small Business Administration loans were granted to individuals under the age of 11. This staggering revelation underscores the extent of the problem and the ease with which fraud can be perpetrated. It raises serious questions about the checks and balances in place to prevent such egregious errors. Yes, you read that right. The system's flaws are so profound that even children who clearly have no business applying for loans were able to receive substantial sums of money. This not only highlights the absurdity of the situation, but also the urgent need for comprehensive reforms. Children, including a 9-month-old baby, were listed as recipients of these loans. This bizarre and troubling fact serves as a stark reminder of the vulnerabilities within our government systems. It is a call to action for policymakers and administrators to address these issues head-on. This absurdity highlights the severe flaws in the system. It is a clear indication that without significant improvements in oversight, technology, and interagency communication, government fraud will continue to thrive. The time for change is now, and it is imperative that we take decisive steps to safeguard public funds and restore trust in our institutions. Identity theft is a pervasive problem in many sectors, and the government is not immune. In fact, fraudsters are exploiting the sensitive information held within government databases, particularly Social Security records. A disturbing trend involves criminals using the Social Security numbers of deceased individuals to fraudulently collect benefits. These individuals are listed as alive in outdated systems, allowing fraudsters to siphon off disability and unemployment insurance intended for those in genuine need. The lack of adequate oversight is a recurring theme in cases of government fraud and waste. Without proper checks and balances, opportunities for abuse multiply, and taxpayer dollars are left vulnerable to mismanagement. One example involves the Department of the Interior during the Biden administration. Reports indicate a lack of thorough review for grant applications. This absence of scrutiny raises serious concerns about the potential for favoritism, waste, and outright fraud. Section 5. Wasteful spending from bad to worse. Beyond outright fraud, wasteful spending is another significant drain on taxpayer resources. These instances often involve poorly conceived programs, misallocated funds, and a general lack of accountability. One example involves the allocation of a $2 billion grant to an NGO associated with Stacey Abrams. The purpose and effectiveness of this grant have been called into question, raising concerns about the responsible use of taxpayer funds. In another case, mishandled Social Security checks resulted in a 94-year-old recipient facing financial hardship. Section 6. Modernization efforts, a history of failure. Recognizing the vulnerabilities of outdated systems, there have been attempts to modernize government processes. However, these efforts have often been met with resistance, delays, and ultimately failure. Efforts to modernize the retirement process within the government, for example, have been ongoing for decades. Despite the clear need to move away from paper-based systems, budget cuts and bureaucratic inertia have hampered progress. This stagnation leaves the system vulnerable to inefficiencies and potential fraud. Section 7. The quest for accountability. Holding those responsible for government fraud and waste accountable is crucial to deterring future abuses and restoring public trust. However, the sheer size and complexity of government agencies can make this a daunting task. The Pentagon, for example, has long been criticized for its opaque accounting practices. Attempts to audit the Department of Defense have revealed significant challenges in tracking how trillions of dollars are spent. This lack of transparency raises concerns about potential waste and the ability to hold those responsible accountable. Section 8. The blurred lines of public and private. The relationship between government entities and private contractors has also come under scrutiny. While collaboration with the private sector can bring valuable expertise, it also presents potential conflicts of interest and avenues for abuse. Concerns have been raised about the awarding of government contracts to companies with ties to political figures. These instances raise questions about whether decisions are being made in the best interest of taxpayers or to benefit private entities. Section 9. A call to action protecting our future. The issue of government fraud and waste is not merely a financial one, it is a matter of public trust and the very integrity of our democracy. When funds meant for public services are misused, it affects the quality of life for everyone. Schools, hospitals, infrastructure, and social services all suffer, leading to a breakdown in the social contract that binds us together. This is why it is crucial for every citizen to be vigilant and proactive in demanding transparency. Addressing these issues requires a multifaceted approach and a commitment to transparency and accountability. It involves not just the government, but also the private sector, non-profits, and individual citizens. We need robust systems in place to detect and prevent fraud, and we must foster a culture where ethical behavior is the norm. This means regular audits, clear reporting mechanisms, and a zero-tolerance policy for corruption. Citizens must demand greater oversight of government spending and hold elected officials accountable for their actions. This can be achieved through active participation in the democratic process, such as voting, attending town hall meetings, and engaging in peaceful protests. Additionally, supporting investigative journalism and whistleblower protections can help uncover and address instances of fraud and waste. Modernization efforts must be prioritized and adequately funded to close loopholes that enable fraud. Investing in technology and infrastructure not only helps in detecting and preventing fraud, but also ensures that public services are delivered efficiently. This includes upgrading outdated systems, implementing advanced data analytics, and training personnel to handle new technologies. By working together, we can protect taxpayer dollars, restore trust in our government, and ensure that resources are used effectively to benefit all Americans. Collaboration between government entities, private organizations, and the public is essential. When we unite for a common cause, we create a stronger, more resilient society. Let us all take responsibility and contribute to a future where integrity and accountability are the cornerstones of our democracy.